Alan and Alex Stokes are two Chinese-American YouTubers known for their prank and challenge videos. They launched their first video on May 21st, 2017, and it wasn't long until they surpassed over 100 million subscribers across their channels. However, in 2019, the twins were met with major backlash for staging a fake bank robbery. Wearing black ski masks and carrying a duffel bag, they exited a bank and attempted to get into an Uber as part of the prank. The Uber driver, alarmed and confused, refused to drive them, leading a bystander to believe the twins were now attempting a carjacking. Police were called, and although the twins were initially let off with a warning, they repeated the same prank just hours later at the University of California. This resulted in a felony false imprisonment and a misdemeanor charge of reporting a false emergency. The court prohibited them from creating future videos mimicking criminal behavior. After the public backlash the twins faced, they successfully rebranded their content in the years that followed their arrest. In 2025, the Stokes Twins are still going strong. They've built multiple YouTube channels, with their highest performing content being on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, bringing in even more viewers and subscribers than ever before. Their content along with their personalities have grown a lot throughout the years, and will most likely keep them relevant for many more to come. PopularMMOs, whose real name is Patrick Brown, was one of the most popular Minecraft content creators, with his channel peaking through the 2010s. Jennifer, his wife, was also a huge part of the channel, known online as Gaming with Jen. Viewers loved the banter and competitive challenges that the couple engaged in. Together, they created many beloved series, with the channel becoming one of the most popular on all of YouTube, yet the channel also went through unfortunate and significant changes. In 2019, Patrick and Jen publicly announced their divorce, a moment that forever changed the future of their lives and channel. Although the couple parted ways, they remained friends and continued to collaborate occasionally, though the channel eventually began to shift. The channel gradually lost stream in the late 2010s, as PopularMMOs uploads became increasingly infrequent. Although Pat eventually returned to the spotlight, it wasn't for the Minecraft adventures that gave him a name. Instead, personal controversies overshadowed his content, such as abuse allegations of his ex-wife, and multiple arrests that drew significant public attention. In September 2023, he addressed his legal troubles head-on, where he stated that he was once attempting to calm his new girlfriend down at a bar, which resulted in both him and her sustaining injuries. An arrest in 2024 only fueled the decline in both his personal and YouTube success, with this arrest including him slashing his girlfriend's car tires so she supposedly wouldn't drink and drive. Recently in 2025, he was arrested for sleeping outside while intoxicated. Regardless, his influence on the Minecraft community remains undeniable. Many fans felt as if Pat and Jen were more than just creators, they were part of childhood itself. It's uncertain to say whether or not PopularMMOs will see a true revival, but for now, Patrick seems focused on navigating personal challenges away from his once beloved community. Mark Meechan, known online as Count Dankula, is a Scottish comedian and commentator. He launched his YouTube channel back in 2015, mostly posting edgy rants and sketches that poked fun mainly at politics and social issues. But everything changed in 2016, when he uploaded the prank that would make him infamous. This video shows how he taught his girlfriend's pug to do a Nazi salute on command. The video went viral and it eventually landed him in court. He received a ton of backlash from viewers, who found the video disgusting and insensitive. Fast forward to 2018, and he was found guilty of posting offensive content under UK law, and fined £800. Mark used this to his advantage, as he built a platform where he refused to censor himself and built an audience that respected him for it. After the trial, he doubled down on social commentary and free speech debates. Despite his past controversies, he always managed to maintain a fanbase due to his humor and his refusal to stay silent on things he feels passionate about. In 2025, Count Dankula is still very much in the game. Regardless of whatever it is he decides to make, he always gives his true, unfiltered opinion. MrBeast is the biggest YouTuber in the world, and contrary to what many believe, he comes from quite humble beginnings. Uploading many gaming and vlog videos as a teen, during the early to mid 2010s, his true rise to fame started when he went viral in 2017, after his Counting to 100,000 video earned tens of thousands of viewers in just a few days. Ever since, MrBeast would become a globally recognized social media influencer. However, 1 year later in 2018, he was arrested for driving over 122 miles per hour in a street race with another driver. Although he was only 19 at the time, his prior arrest started circulating social media in 2024, a direct invitation to lots of criticism from the media. He was held on bond for $100,000. Apart from the arrest, he was also sued in September 2024 by 5 contestants of the Amazon Prime reality show Beast Games. The members alleged unsafe working conditions and unpaid wages. As of now, MrBeast runs a team of creatives and his brand is going stronger than ever before. Day by day his online presence grows, and it's very unlikely he will ever fall off this path of immense success. Charles Ross, widely recognized by his online identity as RossCreations, is an American YouTuber known for his publicity stunts and pranks. Even with the dozen of popular creators online who make similar content to Ross, one of the reasons why he developed a fanbase was because of his creativity with his pranks. Yet, his pranks do not always come off as lighthearted, as he might think they do. Ross's content often involves so-called pranks that blur the lines between comedy and controversy, many of them being controversial enough to the point of run-ins with law enforcement numerous times. Ross's criminal records date back to 2012, with his first arrest for flipping over a police officer during a prank. In 2013, Ross was arrested for giving wedgies to strangers, which got him in some pretty significant trouble. Years later, the arrest that brought him the most attention and backlash occurred in 2019, where he decided to dress up as a cop and issue fake parking tickets to people. He was hit with a felony charge of impersonating a police officer. Despite this, he continued making prank videos, and his most recent arrest occurred in May 2024, where he was charged with trespassing at a business. Ross has maintained a significant online presence despite all of his controversies. He's not as active on his main channel due to YouTube demonetizing his content, but he still makes the same videos, just way more toned down to keep him out of trouble. Because of this, it's unlikely we will see him make headlines in the media again, at least not for anything major. Jake Paul is a YouTuber turned boxer, with him rising to fame in the mid-2010s during the early days of Vine. Jake gained even more attention when he landed a role in the Disney Channel show Bizaardvark in 2016, but Disney decided to cut ties with him, as they did not want to be associated with his growing reputation for controversial behaviors off-screen. Some of these include his parties at his Team 10 house, a mansion where he and a group of young creators lived and filmed together. Jake fully embraced the controversy, making it his brand image. He wasn't only a headache for the internet, but for law enforcement as well. In 2017, he often was complained against by his neighbors, claiming he was disruptive in the neighborhood, including the large parties and stunts he would pull at his home. Fast forward to 2020, and that's where he was hit the hardest by law enforcement. Jake was arrested during the BLM protests in a mall that was being looted at the time. He was immediately put under arrest, as he was in the crowd, although he claimed to have no ties with anything that was going on, simply stating that he was there to document the scene. Oddly enough, Jake shifted gears and found unexpected success as a professional boxer. Jake Paul is living proof of someone who can totally reinvent themselves and their image, yet still keep a growing audience. Despite his past controversies and arrests, he's always found a way to keep relevant, and this time for much better reasons than before. Vitaly Zadorovetsky is a Russian-American YouTuber who made a name for himself in the online world for his very controversial pranks. Some consider him the boldest of the bold, in terms of the lengths he would go to just carry out his pranks. His content is often looked at as one of the biggest motivators behind the numerous other YouTubers who would start making prank content. But Vitaly is not just known for his pranks. He's notorious for the shock factor his presence always seems to bring. Apart from his YouTube career, he has pulled off multiple stunts as major live events. He famously ran onto the field during the 2014 World Cup final, and later streaked at another big sports game, often wearing slogans promoting his channel, including his adult prank site Vitaly Uncensored. He even set his girlfriend up at the time to run across the pitch in a revealing swimsuit, with the name of Vitaly's website on it, at the 2019 Champions League final to promote his site. Unsurprisingly, Vitaly's career has not been without legal trouble. He has quite a long track list of arrests and conflict with the public and the police. On May 25, 2016, he was arrested for trespassing after climbing the Hollywood sign as part of a video stunt. In January 2020, Vitaly was arrested and spent 5 days in an Egyptian jail after climbing the pyramids of Giza. Later in 2020, he was charged for aggravated battery towards a female jogger in Miami. The jogger claimed the attack was completely unprovoked and that she didn't know Vitaly. His most notable and recent arrest happened in April 2025 in the Philippines. Vitaly was arrested for harassment of people in public while filming and a slew of many other charges. It's been reported that if convicted, he may face up to 24 years in prison, but there are still many missing pieces to the puzzle that we still do not know. Hopefully, Vitaly can learn his lesson and upon being released, attempt to change his former ways for his own sake. Young Philly is a young British entertainer, known for his charismatic personality and humor. He established his online presence through comedy videos on Facebook, where he uploaded short skits and relatable clips about everyday life in London. One of his biggest successes is his work with the YouTube group Beta Squad, where he appears alongside other creators, like Nico Amalana, Chunks, and Sharky. Fans love the chemistry between the friend group and the way they joke with each other on screen. Unfortunately, Philly has received major backlash after sexual assault allegations were made against him. In October 2024, he was arrested and charged with 4 counts of penetration without consent, 3 counts of assault causing bodily harm, and 1 count of strangulation. He pleaded not guilty in March 2025 and was released on bail under strict conditions, including a travel ban within Western Australia. A trial is scheduled to begin on July 20th, 2026. This resulted in him being publicly dropped by several organizations and parting ways with Beta Squad. A lesser known and arguably less important arrest occurred a month after his first charge in November 2024, where he was driving 98 miles per hour while still out on bond. It doesn't end here, as 2 more charges of sexual assault were added to his already messed up record in June 2025. Not much is known about the 2 recent charges as it is so recent, but it doesn't look too good so far. JayStation, whose real name is Jason Ethier, is a former Canadian YouTuber known for his highly offensive and controversial videos that push the boundaries of shock content on the platform during the mid to late 2010s. In the early days of his channel, JayStation built a huge following by making videos about challenges and exploring abandoned places. These challenges frequently involve trespassing into empty buildings such as churches, abandoned jails, and even some private businesses. As his audience grew, so did the criticism. Back in 2016, he was arrested for trespassing over 5 times, each arrest related to his YouTube content, more specifically his overnight challenge videos. Then, in March 2018, he was arrested at Disney's Epcot Center in Florida. He was charged with trespassing and resisting arrest after refusing to stop recording security personnel and becoming verbally aggressive. After facing bans and losing ad revenue from his channels, JayStation kept trying to return to YouTube in different ways. He started launching new channels and moving his content to other platforms, but the damage was done and his reputation was beyond repair. JayStation has mostly faded from YouTube stardom. He sometimes appears with short updates or tries to make a comeback, but he no longer pulls the huge views he once did. FPSRussia is the online name of Kyle Myers, an American-Russian YouTuber who became famous for showing off his firearms and explosives in ways most people had never seen before. He launched the channel in 2010 and quickly racked up views by testing powerful guns, blowing up cars, and explaining how different weapons worked, all while speaking in his thick Russian accent. At the peak of his channel, FPSRussia was one of the biggest gun-related channels on the internet. A part of what made FPSRussia stand out was Kyle's unique character. He played Dmitry Potapov on screen, which can be best described as a cheerful Russian gun enthusiast who always stayed calm and funny, even when handling explosives or huge weapons. Unfortunately, over time, the channel was met with serious trouble. In 2017, Kyle's house was raided by federal agents because of issues related to explosives used in the videos, which led to lots of legal problems. He was eventually convicted on a lesser charge of possessing marijuana while owning firearms and served time under house arrest. Kyle has faded away from the internet ever since, and only appears from time to time. His fanbase still hopes for a full return, but due to legal limits and YouTube's stricter rules about gun content, it's highly unlikely his original form of content will ever continue. SSSniperwolf is one of the most famous female faces on YouTube. She started out online as a gamer, uploading Call of Duty montages and live commentary. Her channel grew tremendously, and her viewers didn't just enjoy her gaming content, they started to take interest in her online persona. She knew this and made the smart move to branch out into other forms of content. She started making reaction videos to funny TikToks, life hacks, and viral clips, which in turn became the backbone of her channel and created a solid growing fanbase. Recently, she has faced her fair share of online drama, including feuds with other creators and criticism about her video topics. Apart from her dramatic internet life, she also has a criminal record. In 2013, SSSniperwolf was arrested for armed robbery. According to police reports, she was accused of shoplifting by an undercover store security guard, and the incident then escalated, leading to the charge. A few years later in 2016, she and her boyfriend were arrested for disorderly conduct following a domestic dispute that neighbors reported to the police. SSSniperwolf had to take to social media to clear up the confusion, stating that it was all a misunderstanding, and that according to her, there was no domestic dispute. With that all being said, she's definitely not going anywhere anytime soon. Although she has been a controversial figure for many years, her dedicated and younger fan base continues to come back to her content, where she gets millions of views per video. Poseidon, whose real name is Paul Danino, first started out making content on Twitch around 2015, where he became well known for playing old school RuneScape. However, his viewer base started to request more out of him, and they wanted to see IRL content. Because of this, he began streaming his everyday life with no filter. Viewers would watch him walk around, talk to random people, harass them, and record them, all to provoke a reaction out of them to post online. His streams were entertaining to some, but controversial to most. Because everything was live, there were no chances for his victims to get away from him, without there being some sort of altercation. As you can imagine, run-ins with the police became regular parts of his streams. Things took an absolute turn for the worse in April 2017, as Poseidon was flying from Los Angeles to Phoenix. He was live streaming on Twitch and even showing his boarding pass, which revealed his real name and flight details to all who were watching. Trolls quickly jumped on this, and called the airline claiming that there was a bomb threat under his name for that specific flight. The FBI removed him and another innocent passenger from the plane, and the next day Twitch banned him from their platform. He was also arrested on June 28, 2023 in Bangkok after live-streaming himself performing an intimate act for his girlfriend while wearing women's lingerie at the upscale Banyan Tree Hotel. This act violated Thailand's strict anti-adult content laws. Danino faced up to 5 years in prison, but was released on bail after paying approximately $12,000. He issued a public apology, expressing ignorance of the severity of his actions. By August 2023, the charges were dropped and he left Thailand. In September 2023, just 1 month after his arrest in Thailand, Danino got himself in more trouble with police again. During a live stream in Brisbane, Danino and fellow streamer Sam Pepper hired a sex worker to participate in a prank involving another individual. The woman was reportedly unaware that the encounter was being live streamed. Danino and Pepper were detained by Australian police on allegations of sexual assault. However, police only ended up detaining the two and not arresting them. Poseidon has switched to streaming entirely on Kick and only occasionally uploads videos, but he no longer creates the type of content he once did. Thank you very much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment down below your thoughts on anything I discussed in this video, and subscribe if you would like to see a part 2 or more videos like this one. Thank you again, and goodbye.